What's up, peeps? Do you guys ever wonder how streamers seem to have absolutely no recoil? And when you use the same exact loadout that he does, you're like, God damn, why is my weapon moving like this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a bunch of tips and tricks that you can apply that will significantly help you improve that recoil control, specifically for us console players. With that being said, let's jump right into it. But before, shout out to my Gang, if you guys want to be featured here, comment down below. Noti Gang. Now, let's jump right into it. So first, let's start with the most important thing. There are two types of recoil in this game. One is called initial fire recoil, and then the next one is called the continuous firing recoil. And it's basically as it sounds. Guns, not every gun though, just bear with me, all right? Not every gun has it, but most of the guns, specifically the Vanguard weapons, have a different initial recoil compared to after those initial shots. It starts to even out. So take, for example, the AS44 is a prime example. If I shoot my weapon first, it has a big kick, and then as you guys can see there, it switches up. So when you go ahead and take a look at the pattern, this is the initial recoil control, right? It's a hard and aggressive vertical, and then after that, it was a little bit calmer, and it was moving a little bit to the right. So the recoil has two sets of patterns, right? So then how do you prevent this, right? How do you attack that initial recoil that's different and then you get a completely different pattern? Well, you have to really practice with the weapon. So now that I know how the AS44 works, I know that it kicks up pretty hard and then it goes to the right. So I'm going to focus on my initial shots, pulling my this right here, my thumbstick, a little bit lower than I would usually do it compared to other weapons, right? So we're gonna go ahead and try here. And first we want to focus on that initial recoil, right? So pull down hard. As you guys can see there, it didn't move a little bit. Now let's go with a little bit further range, pull down hard. As you guys can see there, that is controlling the recoil. The initial recoil is gonna kick you up a little bit, but then I brought it back down to where it should be. So again, and there we go. After the second try, now that I kind of know that it's going to kick a little bit harder, as you guys can see, my second try was a little bit better. Let's try something even further away. And again, my first kick was a little bit harder. It was a little bit to the high. And then I controlled it again. Again, you don't have to hit every single shot, right? It's okay if that first initial recoil is a little bit high. But then if after a couple of those shots, you bring it down and you aim back on target, that is all you need. Nobody's going to be perfect. And just also remember that when you're playing on console, remember that we have a lot more visual recoil compared to those people on PC, which is going to be most of the time. That's what the streamers are going to be playing on. So you also have to remember that you could actually have the same recoil control as streamers, but it may not seem like it because of that visual recoil. So just remember that even if your gun is moving a little bit, like it's okay, right? Especially if you're playing on console, it is okay. You don't need to have like complete beams where the gun is not going to move one single bit. Now, one of the things that I do want to mention is if you guys realize that most of the time when streamers are playing, they use no recoil weapons, right? They're using guns like the AS44 that I'm showing you guys that has no recoil. You can use the Growl. And most of the time right now, talking about people using loadouts, is going to be the Cooper carbine, right? I mean, the Cooper carbine has absolutely no recoil. Then they go ahead and use guns like the Armaguerra with the long barrel, which also has no recoil. They can use guns like the MP40, which also has no recoil, right? So if you're a streamer, you also have to realize that they're using guns that have absolutely no recoil, right? I assure you that if they're using guns that have a little bit more recoil or pack a little bit more punch. Let's say you see them using the Odin, right? Something like that. It's gonna be a lot harder to control for them than the Cooper carbine. But now let's talk about something very important, which are the classes, but not specifically giving you classes that have no recoil, but I'm gonna show you guys how to create your classes so they have no recoil. First, we're gonna jump with the Modern Warfare ones, right? Obviously here I'm in with an SMG, so it's not really the point of what weapon I'm gonna be showing, but the most important thing, obviously, we all know that the monolithic suppressor and the longest barrel are the best for no recoil, right? We know that throughout all the classes, Vanguard weapons, Cold War weapons, and we know that through Modern Warfare weapons. So the biggest difference in all those sort of weapons, Modern Warfare, Vanguard, is the underbarrel. That's really the determining factor, really, and when people still don't know what to choose. So when we talk about Modern Warfare weapons, this is super important. A lot of people like to use Commando for all other weapons, but what Commando is going to give you is going to give you super low vertical recoil control, but what it's going to do is it's going to give you that horizontal recoil control, right? The one that's side to side, the bouncing one. And also it's going to be a little bit faster when you're ADSing. But trust me on this one, if you're using Modern Warfare weapons and you want like the best recoil control, go ahead and select the Ranger foregrip. This is going to give you the best, I mean, by far, unbelievable, best vertical recoil, again, compared to one like the Commando foregrip. So here, I got a typical M13 class, but I switched to Ranger instead of the Commando, which would be what a lot of people would run. And if you take a look here, again, 100, oh my God. So for example, if we got our M13 right here, we're going to do a long range beam, right? Let's say 100 meters right here. And we're going to go ahead. Oh my God, wait, just get that aim assist out of the way. We're going to go ahead and for the beams. Look at that. That's complete beams, sorry, inside that window. And that's going to be significantly better, again, than running the Commando. I mean, you're going to get significantly better. That's a 100-meter shot, and all my shots went inside the window. So trust me when I say this, the Ranger really does pack a bunch, especially when you're going for the long-range shots. Now, when we talk about Cold War weapons, is not really a big mystery here. The Field Agent Grip is really going to be the best one if you want for the best recoil control for Cold War weapons. The Speed Grip is a good option as well. It gives you really good horizontal recoil control, and as well gives you a little bit of movement speed, but obviously it's not going to be near as good as the Field Agent Grip. That's just going to be the ultimate winner for the Cold War weapons. Now, obviously one of the more popular ones, the Vanguard weapons, where things get a little bit interesting here is with the underbarrel, right? Is the Carver the best one? Is the Strife Angle the best one, the one a lot of people like to use? Or is the hand stop the best one? And this all comes to 3 different personal preferences. The Carver foregrip is going to be the best one in vertical recoil control with a little bit of horizontal recoil, right? So if you feel that your weapon is kicking up too much, go ahead and select Carver foregrip. The M1941 hand stop is going to be right in the middle. It's going to have a decent amount for vertical recoil, and it's also going to have decent amount for the horizontal recoil. So if you want a little bit of balance for both sides, go ahead and select this one. Now, the M1930 Strife Angle, which a lot of people were running on the Cooper Carbine, this is only for horizontal recoil control, but obviously it's a substantial amount that it actually helps. But as you guys can see there is no vertical recoil on this one. So if your gun just wobbles too much from side to side, select this one. But again, if you want to control vertical recoil, do not select this one. So it just really depends on what you want to help, right? Vertical recoil, Carver, horizontal recoil, Strife Angled, and if you want a little bit of both, select the hand stop. Now, after you know this, I'm going to give you not really the loadouts per se, so you guys can copy them, but the weapons that you can create to have no recoil. And then remember to keep in mind about the grips, so you can choose whichever one fits you better, right? So obviously we're going to go with the SCG is one of the guns that has a low recoil, is pretty good. The bar is also another one of the guns that has no recoil. NC41, another one of the good ones. AS44, that loadout that I got is also pretty good. Cooper Carbine obviously is one of the most popular guns right now. You could definitely use that one and have no recoil. Nikita as well. So you guys can notice Vanguard weapons really have the advantage when it comes to no recoil, because you can select all these attachments. So you can put the MX silencer, the long range barrel, the polymer grip, the stock for the sustained accuracy. So when it comes to Vanguard weapons, those would be the easiest ones to control per se and create a weapon that is going to have no recoil on it. Vargo S is another one. And then for the Modern Warfare weapons, I mean, a lot of people of us know it already, but the Kilo, the M13 are both good weapons that will have no recoil. The Grau is a pretty good one right now as well, no recoil and good beams. And then if we get to the Black Ops side, XM4 has kind of been rising up the ranks because, again, this weapon has absolutely no recoil. You know, you put the agency suppressor, task force, and the fuel agent grip, and you're going to have no recoil on this gun. Creek 6 is also a pretty good gun. QBZ is also an amazing gun. Again, same setup as the XM4. Agency suppressor, task force, and the fuel agent grip. And as far as that, the Gross is also one. The Fire is also one that has almost no recoil. And the Vargo 52 is also a really good one from Black Ops that has almost no recoil. So those are guns that you could use that I would say have no recoil and hit hard. Also, if you want to try something that's really nasty, go to the LMG sections and try with the PKM. And this gun is going to be amazing. I mean, for this one, just run the monolithic suppressor, run the extended barrel. For the underbarrel, go ahead, and this one has a special one, which is a snatch grip. Run that one in for whatever you want for the optic, and then run the attack laser. Trust me, this one is amazing, and it's also got absolutely no recoil. So ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys learned something in here, and hopefully after this video you guys can control your recoil a lot better. Let me know, guys, down below in the comments if you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out. I'll see you all in the next one.